In 1993, Donald Trump's gambling empire was on shaky ground. His 3 casinos in Atlantic City had all just emerged from bankruptcy. And only a year before, some tough new competition arrived on the scene. Foxwoods, a Native American-owned casino in nearby Connecticut. Under federal law, Native Americans don't pay taxes on casinos located on their land. And in 1993, Trump sued the government, alleging the law gave an unfair advantage to a certain class of citizens. Later that year, Trump was called to testify before a House subcommittee on Native American affairs, and he got into a heated exchange with Congressman George Miller, Democrat from California.
Is this you discussing Indian blood? We're going to judge people by whether they have Indian blood, whether they're qualified to run a gaming casino or not?
That probably is me, absolutely. Because I'll tell you what, if you look at some of the reservations that you've approved, you, sir, in your great wisdom have approved, I will tell you right now, they don't look like Indians to me, and they don't look like to Indians. Now, maybe we say politically correct or not politically correct. They don't look like Indians to me, and they don't look like Indians to Indians, and a lot of people are laughing at it, and you're telling how tough it is, how rough it is to get approved. Well, you go up to Connecticut, and you look. Now, they don't look like Indians to me, sir.
Thank God that's not the test of whether or not people have rights in this country or not, whether or not they pass your look test.
Depends whether or not you're approving it, sir.
No, it's not a question whether I'm approving it. It's not a question whether I'm approving it. Mr. Trump, you know in the history of this country where we've heard this discussion before, they don't look Jewish to me.
Oh, really?
They don't look Indian to me. They don't look Italian to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a test for whether people could go into business or not go into business, whether they could get a bank loan. You're too black, you're not black enough.
I want to find out.
Well,
then why you're approving for Indian? Why don't you approve it for everybody then?
That's not a test.
If your case is non-discriminatory, why don't you approve for everybody? You're saying only Indians. Wait a minute, sir.
Stand for it in 5
You're saying
minutes.
only Indians can have the reservations, only Indians can have the gaming. So why aren't you approving it for everybody? Why are you being discriminatory? Why is it that the Indians don't pay tax, but everybody else does? I do.
I'm joined now by Jassy Ross, a member of the Blackfeet Nation, editor-at-large of the Indian Country Today Media Network. And Jassy, that exchange to me was so striking because this has been the whole, he seems obsessed with this shtick for the last few weeks about he is the great, determiner of who has what ancestry.
Yeah, this is not a new script at all. I mean, in many ways, Native people have historically served as the canary in the coal mine in regards to racial relations, and this is no different, where you see him performing exactly the same shtick amongst our Muslim brothers and sisters, and as well as Hispanic Americans. And obviously now he's the authority on Native ancestry and Native authenticity in regards to Elizabeth Warren. The truth is that as the editor of Indian Country Today Media Network and as somebody who works within many of our communities and social media as well, that I've never seen Donald Trump in any of our communities. And so it's preposterous, it's stupid, it's Trumponian in its scope that he is making these assertions that somehow he's an authority.
It also is the case, it seems to me, that part of this, you see in this committee, in this story of, his casinos are doing bad in Atlantic City because these people got something, kind of the story of the kind of grievance that he personally seems animated by that has expanded out to so many groups as you listen to how he campaigns.
It's absolutely amazing. The United States government, as a matter of documented historical fact, kidnapped Native children and had a policy of kill the Indian, save the man. The United States government killed our food supply so they can wage all-out war against our communities many times. The United States government, through the IHS, the Indian Health Services, forcefully performed tubal ligations on Native women, but yet it was somehow the wealthy white man that was being picked on and discriminated against according to this lawsuit.
What is your feeling as someone active in your particular community watching the rise of this figure, particularly the fact that he is sort of, you've got this guy doing a war whoop in introducing him, but the way that he sort of talked about so many different groups?
Yeah, well, it's not a surprise. And I think that we have to be very clear that Donald Trump is just a symbol for an antiquated, outdated mode of thought that unfortunately still exists and is still very prominent. It was prominent enough to, sometimes we feel like we're picking on Donald Trump, for having these outlandish positions, and we talk about him every single day, and it seems like he's such an easy target. But the truth is that he is running for president. He is the Republican nominee, and so that means there are people who legitimately believe in this man's platform, this hateful nonsense that he espouses.
All right. Jussie Ross, thank you very much. Really appreciate it.